Hi, and welcome to Craft Along with Jay. My name is Yetta, and I'm so happy that you clicked on my video. In today's video, we'll make 3 quick spring DIYs. The first one, we need some napkins. The white, yellow, and purple is from Dollar Tree. The pink one is from Walmart. I got a little vase with some little rock fillers in there. I've had them so long, I'm not quite sure where they're from. Anyway, so we're going to cut along the edge of the napkin, the folded part, um, on both sides. So that way, because we got to open each ply separately, so we can't have any folded parts. So we just kind of cut along, and those pieces will come in handy, you'll see. So then we just kind of fold it like a harmonica all the way to the top. There we go. And then we take one of the pieces we cut off and just tie it around. And don't pull too tight. You'll see why. We'll try again. Make sure it's in the middle and just tie it just tight enough without pulling it apart. And I do a double knot to make sure it stays put. And then cut off the excess. And then you'll see we just kind of pull it up as close as we can to each other, and you kind of see it's kind of harmonica. And then you'll take each ply from the napkin. It can be a little difficult to get them separated, but it'll get there. And you just pull them up towards the middle. Now in this one, I didn't get all the plies separated all the way. So I believe I'd go back later and kind of separate them out once I realize that there's still 2 plies attached. So you kind of want to make sure that you really get each ply separated. They're going to be very thin and fragile, so um, just be careful or you'll rip your napkin. You can see I'm struggling a little bit here, but there we go. And I think this is where I realized that there was an extra ply that I didn't get in the beginning. So I have to kind of go back and separate the rest of them. But as you can see, it looks like a very nice little flower top. And as you can see in the background, I already did the yellow and the white one, just the same method. But I wanted to show you the purple one because it's a darker color. So you will see the other thin layer that's white, so it becomes like a 2-colored flower. And it looks really, really pretty. Need a little help with a skewer just to kind of separate them. And there you go. Isn't that pretty? And then the skewers you can see in the styrofoam. I've painted with antique green, I believe it is. And I'm just adding hot glue to the tip of it, and then I'll put it up at the bottom on the flower, and that would act as the stem, just like that. And then I'll put it in my little vase. And that's why the rock's in there, just to kind of hold them in place so they're not kind of tipping over the edge. There we go. And here they all are. I took a little bit of ribbon and I just tied it around the vase just to give it a little extra. Now for this project, you'll need a wood round from the Dollar Tree, some fabric, also from the Dollar Tree, and some chalk paint. Oh, I couldn't see what color that was. And some polyfill. And also you'll need some cardboard box pieces. You'll see here in a minute what that's for. I'm going to go ahead and paint the clean side. I'll cover the back side with some brown packaging paper at the end just to kind of cover that up. I just felt like this was easier to avoid all the glitter. So I'm just going in with a sponge brush just to kind of even it out. I don't mind so much that there are streaks in there. It kind of looks it a little bit more weathered. So I believe I only give it one coat, but then I'll distress it later so you won't even be able to tell. And there's the cardboard box I was talking about. And I'm making a circle and cut it out. And that's going to be the middle part of a flower. Yeah. And then I'm just kind of freehanding some petals to go around. And then I'll cut those out as well. And I'm cutting out 5. So never throw away your cardboard boxes. You never know when they're going to come in handy. Now mine are just a little too wide to kind of fit around that circle, so I just trim them a little bit on the side so they will fit. And once I have them cut out, then I trace the circle around the white velvety feel like fabric from the Dollar Tree. And then I cut it out. I don't cut it all the way into the circle that I traced. I leave a little bit extra because I need to glue that onto it. And then the polyfill will go underneath. So I need a little extra wiggle room to work with. And I'll do the same for the petals too, which I'll cut out in the orange fabric. And there you see I have a little edge around. And then I just start gluing. And I don't pull it tight, very loosely, so that way I'll have some room on top to put the polyfill in. Yeah, I need my finger protector. I burned my finger. So you don't want to glue it all the way around. You want to leave a little opening so you can put the polyfill in. And then once you're done with that, you'll kind of glue it shut. Yep, just like that. And then you just stuff it in, however much a little um, that you want in there. It's really up to your preference. Yeah, I missed a little edge there. And I do the same process with the flower petals and the orange fabric. Just important to remember when you trace them and cut them out, you leave a little bit extra fabric from where you traced it, so you have some extra fabric to work with. And there you go. And here I'm finishing up the last petal for the flower. And you'll see it fits around the middle of the flower just perfectly. And here I decided to distress my flower pieces and as well as the wood round, just to give it a little bit of a weathered look. If you don't like distressing, just skip this part. And I used the antique wax from Waverly as my distressing. And here we go around the wood round, just around the edges, and then I go across the board afterwards. And now it's to get it lined up on your wood round the way you like it, and then go ahead and glue each piece down. I just used hot glue to glue mine down. And there it is. And then I added a little bow on the top. I just used some of the fabric and cut it into strings and tied a little bow. And then I decided that it needed something else. So I got out these half beads and glued them around the wood round. And once I'm done with that, I will use my antique wax and distress those as well. just use a little chippy brush from the Dollar Tree. Kind of dabbed off the excess, and then just distressed the half beads. And if you like distressing, you can distress how much or how little that you prefer, whatever makes you happy. And there it is. Oh, that turned out really, really beautiful. I really like that. I think that's my favorite today. And for the last project of the day, I got this little wooden house I got on clearance at Hobby Lobby. Got some antique wax by Waverly, some chalk paint in the color Java from Folk Art, and some chalk paint by Waverly in the color Mace. And then my ribbon, my flower ribbon from Dollar Tree. And then I got this bird stencil. I cannot remember where I got that from. I've had it for a while, never used it. So I'm painting the middle part with Mace, and I go around the wood trim with the Waverly antique wax. And when you do the yellow Mace in the middle, it takes about 4 to 5 coats to cover the design in there. And you got to let it dry in between coats. So it takes a little while. Making sure it's dry because it's had so many coats of paint. And then I'm just trying to gauge where my stencil should be in there. It's a little bit too big. I do cut it down um, to fit for the most part. In hindsight, I should probably cut out each individual and done them separately instead of trying to do the whole thing because it didn't fit perfectly, so there was a little bit of bleeding. But it still turned out okay. I just kind of wish I had separated the pieces. So you can still see a little bit of the bleeding, and some of it I was able to cover up with just painting over with Mace again. But overall, it still turned out really cute. And you just use very little paint on your brush, which will also help prevent bleeding. Should be done here in a second. I thought I kind of sped this part up, but I guess I didn't. There we go. See, it still turned out pretty good. just kind of covering where I got a little bit underneath the stencil. Just kind of cover it up with some yellow mace. And then here I decided to use some jute twine around the edge of the inside of the house, just to kind of give the edge a smooth look. So I just kind of hot glue that all the way around. And then I decided to take some of my flower ribbon and glue that around the edge of the house. I think it kind of gave it a little extra pizzazz for spring. And then I decided just to make a little shoestring bow to put at the top of my roof. And then I'll shorten up my tails on my bow. And that's it for this one. It's a nice shelf sitter. I like it. It turned out really well. And here they all are. I want to thank you all so much for clicking on my video. Please subscribe, like, and comment. It would really help me out. Until next time, bye.